Section 1.6 deals with complementary and supplementary angles. So maybe new terminology to you. So what you need to know is that complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. And supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. And then to help you maybe not forget which one is which, I memorize it this way. I think of it as C comes before S for complementary and supplementary. And likewise, numerically, 90 comes before 180. So that's how I say to memorize it, but I'll leave that up to you. Now, we know important in this class is showing work. You've got to show work for every single problem, no matter how simple it is, right? Because remember, I'm preparing you to be ready for the harder problems, okay? So here you go. Let's go ahead and write up here that you must show work. Okay, so that there is no doubt in your mind. Okay, make sure you're showing that work. All right, here we go then. If I ask you for the complement of an angle, well, if I want to know two things add up to, or the 24 degrees and something else adds up to 90, well, then the opposite operation is what you're going to use, guys. You're going to find the complement by saying, well, I know its complement would be 90 minus 24. And in the effort of working down under that, that would give us 66. And it's an angle, so it would be 66 degrees. Now, its supplement would be 180, since they have to add up to 180. 180 minus 24. And again, working down, I would get 156 degrees. So you can double check yourself and see that in that first row, the 66 plus 24 would equal 90. That's what it's supposed to mean to be complementary. And the 156 plus the 24 would give you 180. Okay, so think about what you did. You took 90 minus whatever they gave you. Okay, 90 minus whatever they gave you. And I'll just keep switching colors here so that hopefully if these run into each other, you can still see it. So 82 degrees. If I ask you for its complement, then you're going to always start with 90 minus the 82 and tell me that we are going to get 8 degrees. So its complement, that's the wording, how we use it, is 8 degrees. Its supplement then would be 180 minus 82, which would be 98 degrees. All right, next. If I ask you what's the complement of a 110 degree angle? Well, complement to you is supposed to mean they add up to 90. So if it's already bigger than 90, think about it, guys. If you did 90 minus, so if I just did 90 minus 110, 110. Do you agree I would get a negative number? Okay. You can't have a negative angle. A negative angle does not exist. All right, so if you know you're going to get a negative because it's bigger than 90, or for supplementary it's bigger than 180, then your answer is none. Okay, please don't tell me no solution or does not exist. Those mean different things in mathematics. So just tell me that there is none. Okay, there is no complement. If I want to go with its supplement, then it's going to be 180 minus 110, which will be 70 degrees. Okay, make sure that looks like 70 degrees there. Alrighty then, so now if you think about it, and this is the reason we have you always show the work, nothing changes when I put a variable in here. Okay, when I put a variable in here, remember what we did. Up here, when I give you 24 for complement, you did 90 minus 24. When I gave you 82, you started with 90 minus 82. So nothing is going to change when I give you x. You're going to say, well, I'm going to get 90 minus x, and I'll leave this off for a minute because I guess you wouldn't have thought about that yet. You're going to get 90 minus x. Now at this point, you should be thinking, simplify that. Well, 90 and x are not like terms, so that is as simplified as it can be. And so you just need to tell me, well, I know that quantity, that expression would be a degree. And so what you're going to do is put that expression in parentheses and put your degree on the outside. That would be what you would write for its complement. For its supplement then, notice all of these up here started with the purple one, the blue one, the red one, all started with 180. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to say it's 180 minus x, simplify, which there's no simplification to do, put your quantity, degrees. That's how I'll read it to you. Quantity means it's in parentheses, degrees are on the outside. All right, so then when it gets a little bit tougher, hopefully nothing's confusing you. If we're always supposed to start with this and say take 90 minus that, all right, this one's going to take a few more steps, so leave yourself some room. 90 minus that quantity that's in parentheses is going to be there. And then, of course, you're going to distribute that negative. Okay, so your next step would be 90 minus x minus 15. And now if you simplify and combine like terms, you would have 75 minus x parentheses degrees. Okay, so maybe you now, if you're starting to get the hang of it, maybe you turn off the video and try to find the supplement, complement, and supplement of the next problem also. Okay, see what you think. Otherwise, here we go. So this one would be 180 minus that quantity of x plus 15, which would then give you 180, distributing that negative again, negative x minus 15. Combine like terms, and you will now have 165 minus x, quantity, degrees. Right? And then the next one, again, same process. So if I'm going to go with 90 minus quantity 2x minus 30. Next step of distributing, 90 minus 2x plus 30. Combine like terms. And now you've got 120 minus 2x, which doesn't simplify any further. So put your quantity, degrees, and you are finished with the complement. If you've now figured it out, you hadn't turned off your video, maybe you now try your supplement yourself. You should be doing 180 minus the quantity, 2x minus 30. Distribute your negative. So 180 minus 2x plus 30. And that should get us to 210 minus 2x quantity degrees. All right, next. So we're going to start getting into some word problems in this chapter. Okay, I promise, just stay at it, guys. Keep with it. Don't skip the word problems. Just like you're not going to skip fraction problems anymore. And we will get you there. Okay, I promise these ones are not too bad right here. So if I ask you to find x if the angles are supplementary, really the key is just knowing what that means. Supplementary, remember, means that these angles add up to 180. Okay, so if I have these two angles, angle 1 and angle 2 given to me, I know that if I add them, they equal 180. All right, that means, here's my equation. 5x plus 9 plus the 7x plus 15, angle 1 plus angle 2, equals 180. And even if you wanted to write that above to help you, angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. That would work, okay? There's no way it's skipping around and putting that little dot there, but here we go. So anyway, here's my original equation. If I'm ever asking you for the original, we're talking about this one right here. Combining like terms now. 5x's plus 7x's is 12x's. 9 plus 15 is 24, equals 180. Now that you've combined like terms, subtract 24 from both sides. Okay, that's gone. You'll get 12x equals 156. Divide by 12 on both sides to get that number to cancel in front of x, and you would have x equals 13. Now again, we do need to talk about, is that a 13 or a 13 degrees? Well, think about the picture, guys. If they just told you those angles are supplementary, isn't that just like what you did in the previous notes? Here, I just wrote it to you in words. In the previous notes, didn't we have something that was a straight angle like this? And one of the angles was 7x plus 15, and one of them was 5x plus 9. That's the exact same thing that's happening here. You're just saying those two angles add up to 180. Okay, so if you think about the picture, then the 13, the x doesn't stand by itself, so this is just going to be a regular old 13. But this is a completely different question. So the question that's here, the answer is 13. This is a completely different question if somebody asks this, because you'll be doing this soon. So what if you were asked, what are the angles? Okay, so sometimes you really need to read the question carefully. So what if it asked, what are the angles? Well, then you would pick up what was given to you at the beginning, that angle 1 equals 5 times x, and you're just going to take the 13 and go ahead and plug it in there. So you're going to say 5. Remember, we write times with parentheses or a dot. You should be using parentheses now. Plus 9. Order of operations says do multiplication first. So do 5 times 13 and then plus 9. And you will get 74 degrees. Likewise, if I went ahead and went back and did angle 2, I would be doing 7 times 13 plus 9. Nope, plus 15. Okay, got to take it from up here. 7 times 13 plus 15. Do 7 times 13 first, add 15, and you will get 106 degrees. And so if it was a quiz, your answer would be, if I was asking you what are the angles, you'd put 74 degrees, comma 106 degrees. You should always very quickly check this. What should you know that 74 and 106 add up to be? I hope you're telling me 180. So if you add that up as a quick check, since it's supplementary, and you get 179 or 181 or anything besides 180, you automatically know you did something wrong, and you can go back and fix it.